At a railway station in a bustling city, there lived a beggar who survived by seeking alms from passengers traveling on the trains that stopped there. One day, while begging, he noticed a tall, well-dressed man. Seeing his elegant attire, the beggar thought, "This man looks wealthy. If I ask him for alms, he will surely give me a generous amount." He approached the man and started begging. The tall man looked at him and said, "You always ask from others, but have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I am just a beggar. I always ask because I have nothing to give. How can I offer anything to others?" The tall man responded, "If you have nothing to give, then you have no right to ask. I am a businessman, and I believe in the principle of give and take. If you have something to offer me, only then will I give you something in return." Saying this, the man boarded the train and left. The beggar sat there, reflecting on the man's words. They struck a chord in his heart. Maybe I don't receive much money because I never give anything in return. But what can I, a mere beggar, possibly offer to others, he pondered. For 2 days, he struggled to find an answer. On the third day, as he sat near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming nearby. An idea struck him: why not give flowers to people in return for their alms? Enthusiastic about his new plan, he plucked a few flowers and, that day, handed them to everyone who gave him money. People appreciated the gesture and happily accepted the flowers. From then on, the beggar made it a habit to pick fresh flowers every morning and offer them to those who gave him alms. He soon noticed that more people started giving him money. However, when he ran out of flowers, fewer people contributed. One day, while begging on the train, he saw the same tall man who had inspired him. The beggar immediately approached him and said, "Today, I have something to offer you. If you give me alms, I will give you flowers in return." The man smiled, gave him some money, and accepted the flowers. "Wonderful! You've become a businessman, just like me," he remarked before stepping off the train. Once again, the man's words resonated with the beggar. He realized that the key to changing his life was now in his hands. Looking up at the sky, he declared, "I am not a beggar anymore, I am a businessman." People around him thought he had gone mad, but he was determined. 6 months later, at the same railway station, 2 well-dressed men were traveling. One of them recognized the other and extended his hand for a handshake. "Do you recognize me?" he asked. "No, I don't think we've met before," replied the second man. The first man smiled and said, "We've met not once, but twice. Don't you remember the beggar you once spoke to?" Surprised, the second man said, "Oh yes. You're the beggar I once refused to give money to, and the second time, I bought flowers from you. But today, you're dressed so well. What do you do now?" The first man responded, "Yes, I was that beggar. But today, I am a successful flower merchant, traveling to another city for business. You taught me a crucial life lesson: we only receive when we give. That lesson changed my life. I realized I was never truly a beggar, I was always a businessman, but had not seen myself that way. People weren't giving me alms, they were paying for the flowers I provided. I used that money to buy more flowers and grew my business. Today, I run a large flower enterprise, all thanks to the wisdom you shared." Both men smiled and continued their journey. This story teaches us a profound lesson about the power of self-perception and the universal law of giving and receiving. Often, we limit ourselves by believing we are incapable or unworthy of success, just as the beggar once saw himself as merely a beggar. However, true transformation begins with a shift in mindset. When we focus not just on taking but also on giving, whether through kindness, effort, or value, we unlock opportunities for growth and success. The principle of give and take is not just a business rule, it's a life philosophy that fosters mutual benefit and prosperity. Moreover, success is deeply tied to how we view ourselves. If we see ourselves as small or insignificant, others will too. But when we believe in our potential and take action, the world responds in kind. The beggar's journey from poverty to prosperity reminds us that no dream is too big and no situation too hopeless if we dare to think differently, act boldly, and believe in our ability to rise above our circumstances.